Imagine waking up one morning, scrolling through your feeds, and stumbling upon a video so real and so shocking that it immediately makes your heart pound. There it is, a clip of Barack Obama, America's 44th president, being handcuffed by stern-faced federal agents right in the Oval Office. He is wearing an orange prison jumpsuit, his face a mix of defiance and resignation. It is the kind of footage that would dominate headlines for weeks, send shockwaves through the country, and potentially alter the course of history. Millions of people watch it before they even have breakfast, some believing they are witnessing a historic reckoning, others recoiling in disbelief. But here's the twist. None of it ever happened. The entire scene is an elaborate fabrication, conjured out of thin air by artificial intelligence. Welcome to the age of synthetic reality, where technology blurs the boundaries between fact and fiction, and the very foundation of democracy stands at risk. Let's hit rewind and see how we got here. The saga begins not with traditional news outlets, but with a social media post from former President Donald Trump, sent out on his favorite digital megaphone. The video in question is a slick, 45-second montage set to the upbeat classic YMCA. It opens with genuine footage of Barack Obama declaring, "Especially the president is above the law," a soundbite that echoes with irony. This is followed by clips of prominent Democrats, including President Joe Biden, solemnly affirming, "No one is above the law." Then, in a surreal twist, the video flashes to images of Pepe the Frog, a meme character that has become a symbol for certain online communities. And finally, it delivers the knockout punch, a hyper-realistic depiction of Obama being arrested in the very heart of American power, the Oval Office. The final shot freezes on Obama in an orange jumpsuit, the image lingering in viewers' minds. Political memes and doctored videos are nothing new. In fact, they have been floating around the internet for decades, from the earliest photoshopped campaign posters to the viral birther conspiracy clips of the early 2010s. But what sets this video apart is its sheer believability. Thanks to cutting-edge deepfake technology, it is nearly impossible, at first glance, to tell that the footage is a fabrication. The lighting, the voices, the subtle facial expressions, all seem authentic. Even viewers who consider themselves media-savvy are fooled, at least for a moment. And that is precisely where the danger lies. This is not some isolated stunt or a one-off case of political trolling. It is part of a much larger and rapidly escalating trend. According to the AI Ethics Institute, political content generated by artificial intelligence is almost 90% more likely to go viral on social media than content created solely by humans. In practical terms, that means a manipulated video like this can reach tens of millions within hours, spreading like wildfire across platforms from Facebook and X, formerly Twitter, to TikTok and WhatsApp. A recent Brookings Institution study found that deepfakes, those AI-generated videos that convincingly mimic real people, could lower voter turnout by as much as 7% in close elections. That is enough to sway not just local races, but potentially the balance of power in Congress, or even the presidency itself. And the concern is not limited to one side of the political aisle. A July Pew Research Center poll showed that more than 70% of Americans are worried about the role artificial intelligence will play in the upcoming midterm elections. The anxiety is bipartisan, cutting across age, gender, and ideological divides. People sense that something fundamental is shifting, and they are right. Lawmakers and regulators are scrambling to catch up. In June of 2025, a rare bipartisan coalition in the United States Senate introduced the Reality Check Act, a bill that would require all political ads altered by artificial intelligence to carry visible disclaimers. The idea is straightforward. If a video or image has been digitally manipulated by AI, voters should know about it before they form opinions or cast ballots. Yet, as of July, only 26 states have managed to pass their own versions of deepfake legislation, and the specifics vary dramatically. Some states impose hefty fines for violations, while others focus on public education or require only minimal disclosure. In the meantime, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, or CISA, has launched a high-profile national campaign called Know What's Real, designed to teach everyday citizens how to recognize manipulated media. But as Dr. Joan Donovan of Harvard's Kennedy School warns, these efforts might not be enough. AI-generated content amplifies existing distrust in institutions, she explains, making it harder for voters to discern truth from fiction. The conflict is intensifying, and nowhere is it more visible than in the tug-of-war between social media companies and government regulators. On one side are free speech advocates, who fear that mandatory disclaimers could chill legitimate political debate and infringe on Americans' First Amendment rights. On the other side are policymakers, worried that unchecked deepfakes could undermine the very legitimacy of elections. The United States Supreme Court is set to hear arguments this October on whether these new rules cross a constitutional line. Professor Lawrence Lessig, a renowned legal scholar at Harvard, cautions, mandatory disclaimers raise complex First Amendment issues, potentially chilling legitimate political speech. Meanwhile, former CIA analyst Cindy Otis notes, deepfakes aren't just a technological threat, they're psychological weapons, exploiting our deepest biases and vulnerabilities. To grasp the full scope of the problem, it helps to look at a few real-world examples. In the lead-up to the 2024 presidential election, a series of deepfake videos showed various candidates making inflammatory remarks they never actually uttered. One widely circulated clip depicted Senator Elizabeth Warren advocating for policies she has publicly opposed. Another showed former Vice President Mike Pence making disparaging comments about military veterans, sparking outrage until fact-checkers debunked it. Internationally, similar tactics have been used in countries from India to Brazil, where AI-generated audio and video clips have fanned the flames of political unrest and even contributed to violent clashes. The technology behind these deepfakes is advancing at a breakneck pace. Not long ago, creating a convincing fake video required teams of skilled artists and expensive computer equipment. Today, anyone with a modern smartphone and access to cloud-based AI tools can generate disturbingly realistic content in minutes. Open-source platforms like Deepfakes Lab and commercial services like Synthesia have democratized the process, making it accessible to activists, pranksters, and malicious actors alike. Synthetic voices, facial reenactment, and even full-body motion capture are now just a few clicks away. As a result, the very idea of seeing is believing is quickly becoming obsolete. But the implications go far beyond viral videos and online outrage. Researchers at Oxford's Internet Institute have found that deepfakes are particularly effective not at changing people's minds, but at reinforcing their pre-existing beliefs and biases. In other words, fake videos do not usually convert skeptics. Instead, they supercharge the divisions that already exist, making compromise and consensus even harder to achieve. Imagine a world where every political tribe has its own set of facts, each supported by a steady stream of AI-generated content tailored to its most fervent members. The result is a society not just divided by ideology, but by entirely separate realities. The legal landscape is equally fragmented. While Congress debates national standards, 26 states have created their own patchwork of regulations to address deepfake misuse in campaigns. Some, like California and Texas, have enacted strict penalties for producing or distributing intentionally deceptive content, while others, such as Florida and Ohio, focus on transparency and public awareness. The lack of uniformity creates loopholes that can be exploited by bad actors, both foreign and domestic. For example, in the 2020 French presidential election, Russian-backed operatives used AI-generated videos to smear candidates and sow confusion among voters. Similar tactics have been detected in the United Kingdom, India, and several African nations, highlighting the global nature of the threat. And the stakes are only growing. The Director of National Intelligence recently released a sobering report warning that hostile foreign powers are actively developing AI-driven disinformation campaigns designed to destabilize American democracy. These efforts range from subtle manipulations, such as editing real clips to change their meaning, to full-blown synthetic personalities that engage in online debates and spread propaganda across social networks. The report concludes that defending against these attacks will require unprecedented cooperation between government agencies, technology companies, and civil society groups. Meanwhile, the private sector is not waiting for Congress to act. Tech giants like Meta, Google, and X are investing billions of dollars in AI-powered content detection and moderation tools. These systems use machine learning algorithms to scan videos and images for signs of tampering, flagging suspicious content for human review. Some platforms have launched user-friendly browser extensions and mobile apps that help people verify the authenticity of what they see online. Fact-checking organizations are ramping up their efforts as well, employing teams of analysts and iBots to investigate viral claims in real time. Yet, despite these advances, the sheer volume and sophistication of deepfake content means that many fakes slip through the cracks. The psychological impact is profound. As former CIA analyst Cindy Otis points out, deepfakes exploit our emotions and cognitive biases. The most effective misinformation does not simply present false information. It taps into our deepest fears, desires, and prejudices. A video that confirms your suspicions or stokes your anger is far more likely to go viral than a dry recitation of facts. This is why digital literacy, the ability to critically analyze and verify online content, has become an essential skill for the 21st century. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency's Know What's Real campaign aims to equip citizens with practical tools and knowledge, but the challenge is immense. According to new research, AI-generated political posts are nearly 90% more likely to be shared than anything written by humans, highlighting the urgent need for widespread digital education. So what does all of this mean for you, the viewer? How can ordinary people protect themselves and their communities from the tidal wave of AI-driven misinformation? First and foremost, skepticism is no longer just healthy. It is mandatory. If a video or story seems too sensational, too perfectly aligned with your beliefs, or too outrage-inducing, take a moment to pause and investigate. Check the source. Has it been reported by reputable news outlets? Are there independent confirmations or fact checks available? Simple browser plugins and fact-checking websites can help you quickly flag suspicious content. Mainstream newsrooms are increasingly relying on AI-powered verification tools to vet viral posts in real time, but personal vigilance remains crucial. Second, demand transparency from politicians, platforms, and advertisers. When you encounter political ads online, look for clear disclaimers indicating whether the content has been altered or generated by artificial intelligence. If such disclaimers are missing, ask why. Reach out to the platform or the campaign responsible and insist on accountability. Public pressure is already forcing tech companies and lawmakers to take the issue seriously, and your voice can make a difference. Third, recognize that the battle against misinformation is as much psychological as it is technological. The most dangerous lies are the ones that flatter our intelligence, confirm our biases, or provoke strong emotions. As Dr. Kate Crawford of USC Annenberg reminds us, AI systems can reflect and magnify societal biases if left unchecked. Slow down, consult multiple sources, and encourage friends and family to do the same. Building a culture of critical thinking and media literacy is our best defense against manipulation. Fourth, understand that the challenge is not just national but global. Countries around the world are grappling with the same issues. From the United Kingdom's proposed rules for AI-generated campaign ads to the European Union's sweeping regulations on digital transparency, international cooperation, and the sharing of best practices will be essential to contain the spread of synthetic disinformation. Security technologist Bruce Schneier argues that we must focus on building resilient information ecosystems, capable of withstanding the inevitable onslaught of AI-generated propaganda. Fifth, watch out for new and emerging threats. The next phase of AI-driven manipulation could involve micro-targeted disinformation campaigns, where synthetic videos and messages are tailored to individual voters or demographic groups. Imagine receiving a personalized video message, seemingly from your favorite politician, encouraging you to stay home on election day. Or picture synthetic candidates, powered entirely by AI, engaging in online debates and influencing public opinion without ever revealing their true nature. These scenarios may sound like science fiction, but experts warn they are closer than most people realize. Yet, there is hope on the horizon. Researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology have developed advanced watermarking tools that can subtly tag all AI-generated content, making it traceable and verifiable within seconds. If widely adopted, these technologies could help restore trust and accountability in digital media. Meanwhile, organizations like the AI Now Institute are advocating for greater transparency and ethical oversight in the development and deployment of artificial intelligence. Meredith Whittaker, the Institute's president, warns that concentrating power in the hands of a few tech giants poses significant risks to democratic governance. We need open standards, robust oversight, and a commitment to the public good, she insists. Some countries are already leading the way. In May of 2025, the United Kingdom's Electoral Commission proposed some of the world's toughest rules for digital campaign advertising, requiring all AI-generated content to be clearly labeled and independently audited. The European Union has passed similar legislation, while countries like Australia and Canada are actively exploring new frameworks to balance innovation with accountability. The private sector is stepping up as well. Several major tech companies have formed alliances to share data on emerging threats, coordinate responses to viral deepfakes, and develop open-source tools for content verification. Civil society groups are launching grassroots campaigns to educate voters, support whistleblowers, and promote digital literacy in schools and communities. These efforts, while still in their early stages, represent a critical line of defense against the weaponization of synthetic media. But ultimately, the outcome will depend on all of us. Not just lawmakers, engineers, or activists, but every citizen who participates in the digital public square. Laws and algorithms alone cannot save us from the perils of AI-powered misinformation. It requires a collective commitment to truth, accountability, and respectful dialogue. Dr. Joan Donovan puts it plainly. The real danger is not just the technology, it's how it chips away at our collective ability to agree on basic facts. Here is a final secret fact that offers a glimmer of hope. While it may be nearly impossible to eliminate deepfakes entirely, ongoing research and innovation are beginning to tip the scales. The latest generation of AI detection algorithms can spot subtle inconsistencies in digital footage, while watermarking technology embeds invisible signatures into synthetic content. If governments, tech companies, and citizens work together to demand transparency and accountability, it is possible to build a digital world where truth still matters. So as we enter this new era, remember, vigilance is your best ally. Share this deep dive with a friend, encourage open conversations, and always question what you see, especially when it feels too real to be true. Together, we can build a more informed, resilient, and democratic digital society. Your actions matter.